We just had a crazy 1 week season, and now we'll have a more normal one. Gonna be only 2 weeks long, and today we'll cover the best unlock order to have a solid start. Season 72 is gonna be a bit slower, easier type of season, and in a nutshell, it'll be like a warrior kind of meta into heavy rush the first time in a while, and then into RCs and finally bombers. You can't see here, but later in the tree you have bomber squad leaders, which might be pretty cool later on. But our starting troop is between rifles and warriors, but since warriors are faster, we should be using them for at least a little bit. And going straight into the unlock order, gonna be going the top path, snipers and smoke, all the way to 3 ER. And we'll take a quick look at 2 and 3 ER. The 2 ER deck right there, it's kind of okay, there's a gap in the middle. And maybe for one of the first times ever, 2 ER looks kind of better than 3. So if you can and you're starting really low, maybe try staying 2 ER for as long as you can, or at least until you start losing too much. The one problem though is you don't want to get medics at 2 ER. So you can see, if you really need flare, then I would just go to 3 ER and then pick it up. Because even though those medics cost 10 keys, you don't want to be 10 short later on in the season. But going even further on, now you can pick up flare. So in the beginning, doing hits with just all warriors, maybe flaring ERs, you have smoke, so that should help out. And as you get going, you're going to go towards heavies. For the first time ever, we have tech locks on actual nodes. So to get that 500 tech level, you need to be really careful with your upgrades. Kind of like last season where you don't max everything, now it's almost opposite. You want to max a bunch of stuff, but still in the right order. And we went ahead, made a chart again. It's more for a rank 1 start, but whichever rank you start, you can kind of look at the tech unlocked and the upgrades. And in order to get heavies and critters which need 500 tech level, you can do those upgrades on the right. There's nothing wrong with doing upgrades your own way, but if you want the tech as soon as possible, then that's the way to do it. And again, it's really just to get to those strong tech, getting heavies, because heavy rush is always strong when there's no shock mines. You can just flare down ERs. And critters are pretty strong too. You can only kill a few ERs and use critters for one. And later on, they can help with distracting buildings. But once you do get heavies and critters, you can make your way towards these 3 ERs right there. It is the second time we ever had this, where you can kind of choose your own deck layout. The way it is now, we did label it top to bottom, 4, 5, and 6 ER. But whichever ER you choose first, that's going to be your 4 ER. And we can take a quick look at the deck layouts to compare. On the top, it's kind of cut off, but that's your technically 4 ER, then there's 5 and 6. So you're mainly just looking for which one's the strongest. They're almost the same, just small differences on the left side. You can see where the gaps are. The bottom one has a pretty open gap, so maybe not the strongest. But the middle one has a gap going all the way to the left side, so because you're forcing troops to wrap around, it might be better off. So if you have to choose which ERs to open first, I'd go 6 ER, then the 4 ER, and then finally the 5 ER. Because you want the strongest deck layout to choose last, because that way you can carry over that strong deck layout. And then once you choose 6 ER, not only for the deck layout, but also because there's building health right after. We know building health is one of the strongest boosts of a season. Then you can pick up bullet and grens. And maybe now you're using either still warriors or heavies, but you want an even faster troop, and that's why we're going to switch to RCs. Now RCs also have the tech lock at 1000, so we'll have to be a bit more careful again on exactly what to upgrade. Maybe you already have the keys for RCs but not enough tech level, so that's why we're going to go back to the chart, and now we're in this portion where we want to make sure that the upgrades are perfect, so as soon as you get that tech level, you can open up RCs. Again, worst case, if you do your own upgrades, you'll still get RCs, but maybe a chest or two later than you could have. But if you want to get them as soon as possible, you do those upgrades. And after RCs, you can pick up troop damage, also covered by that 1000 tech level, but you can get it around the same time. After that is a cool little shield generator node. It's 5 level 1 shields, 3 level 2s, or 2 level 3s. And the way the math works out for shield value, the first option is 250%, and the other two are all 300%. So it's really a matter of, do you want 3 buildings or 2? And in most cases, the more buildings you have, the more health there is. So I'd choose the middle option with 3 level 2 shield gens. With the final unlock we're going to talk about being shocks. And another node covered by tech level, this time it's 1200. So going back to our chart, after we get RCs, we want to make sure we do the right upgrades once again. So as soon as you get that 1200 tech level, you can open up shocks. And the way we showed it is not only going up to gold, but some time chests too, some 8 hours, 16 hours into the season. But it's really the fastest way to get to that tech covered by some locks. Both heavies and critters at 500, RCs and troop damage at 1000, and shock bombs at 1200. Also, for anyone buying instant training or anything in the shop, would appreciate if you use a creator code. If you want to support this channel, you can use code Stoneheart. But that's pretty much the unlock order. Do think it's a better season than the last one for free to play, and also easier hits. But let me know what you think of the unlock order, and good luck this season. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.